Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit... He's going down!
We are coming on the air live tonight.
Stay over here.
Trump rally has come to an abrupt end after the former president was attacked.
What's just happened?
All of a sudden, I just hear these 4 shots, and everybody's screaming drop, and you can see the blood like splatter on his face, and the Secret Service just barricades him.
A lot of chaos and confusion. No one was sure where the gunshots were coming from.
The chaos which unfolded in Butler, Pennsylvania on July the 13th was unlike anything the United States has witnessed in decades. Mere millimetres separated the former President Donald Trump from serious injury or even death. An attempted assassination in which a bullet ripped through his ear and shattered the illusion of security in American politics. An act which could define the upcoming election and potentially alter the narrative in a highly polarised nation for better or for worse. This is the story of the Trump shooting, the moment which shook America. It began like so many days on the Trump campaign trail. Thousands of passionate supporters arriving to see the man they want back in the White House.
What wouldn't bring me out here to see the former president? I want to see him win, bring this country back to where it should be.
He's here for us. He really is. He's not here for himself.
Well, we are inside of the venue officially, and Vanessa and I are so excited to be among so many incredibly happy and proud patriots today on this beautiful day in Butler, Pennsylvania.
You can see behind us that the inside is packed and the overflow crowd is starting to take shape.
Then, just after 6 o'clock in the evening, the moment they had been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American.
The speech itself was like so many Donald Trump has given on the campaign trail.
Hello, Butler, and hello to Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, and that's what you are, and we got to bring our country back to health, because our country is going to hell, if you haven't noticed, and we're going to take back the White House, and we're going to take back our country. We're going to take it back.
And then everything changed in an instant.
You know, that's a little bit old.
It is a singular moment of American history, which will only compound this country's divisions.
What happened?
Donald Trump forced to take cover as shots ring out. The Secret Service bundle the former president to the ground. Seconds later, you can hear their shouts. The threat is neutralized. And Donald Trump's voice asking for his shoes, which appear to have been dislodged in the chaos.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head, bloody.
Photos of that moment appear to show the bullet mid-flight and Donald Trump's defiance as he emerged blooded but alive. Donald Trump was rushed from the rally to a nearby hospital but was later discharged. His survival already turned into a campaign message by his son.
The story was instantly making headlines around the world, with reporters among those in the crowd who had to take cover.
I think you can hear that voice there on the tape. You can't see her, but I believe that is Olivia taking cover herself with our Scott McFarland and rest of the CBS team as those shots were fired in Pennsylvania today. And she joins us now live
Yeah, Margaret, that was my voice on that video. I think you can hear how terrified it was being there. When all of a sudden he was talking about immigration, we just heard shot, shot, shot.
The former president was just standing on the stage. She was talking about immigration under President Biden when all of this erupted into chaos. Again, just moments into his appearance here in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Let me be unequivocal about something. This is a security failure of epic, historic proportions.
Our US correspondent Dan Rivers gave his own reflections on events on that defining evening.
Well, it was horrifying at the initial first few seconds. We didn't know initially how badly hurt Donald Trump was. He appeared having been bundled to the floor initially, but obviously, everyone was reflecting on previous attempts to assassinate presidential candidates and presidents and various different attempts on politicians' lives, and it felt like once again America was at this very dark place where violence against those who seek to lead it was going to rear its ugly head again. Then it became obvious that he seemed to be hurt, but not seriously hurt. I think in some ways it has made America stop and pause for a second. In the middle of an incredibly bitter and angry campaign, it's made everyone just step back for a second and think about the potential of, Donald Trump coming millimeters from being killed. In a weird way, it has brought the three candidates, if you include RFK Jr., together in this moment. Well, we've got a long way to go. There's still 4 months to go before this election. Don't expect the bitter politics to be put on hold for too long.
Though former President Trump survived, 50-year-old volunteer Fire Chief Corey Comparatore was killed protecting his family. And while tributes were paid to him, others who survived recalled the terrifying experience.
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, "He's been shot, he's been shot." So I made my way over. I said, "I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you."
And then all of a sudden, I seen it you could almost see it. It was like crazy. But then there was like 1, 2, 3, like boom, boom, boom. So then we're sitting there and I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I honestly feel like part of me died at that rally yesterday.
Dr. Joseph Main is still processing what unfolded right in front of him. He was sitting near a man who was shot in the head. He likens it to the gruesome film of John F. Kennedy's assassination.
It was like something out of the Zapruder film from like JFK. I mean, it was like, you're like, what is this? And he was like instantly killed. And, the second thing was, seeing President Trump, go down with a bit of his, take a bit of his ear off. I am not exaggerating when I tell you that he was a hair's breadth away from being assassinated. I mean, had he not moved his head to the left, he'd be dead. The thing I will carry to my grave is that poor woman absolutely sobbing when, she was told, is he going to be okay? No, he's dead. It's just insanity.
In the hours after the shooting, more details emerged about the suspected gunman. Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was 20, lived in a suburb of Pennsylvania and was a registered Republican and a member of a local gun club. But his motive was not immediately clear.
The Butler Farm showground doesn't have the look of a place which shapes history. But what happened beneath the flag of this nation could define this nation's future.
Take a look at what happened.
A handful of bullets and a head turn, potentially the difference between a dead former president and a fortunate future one. For those who were there is little need for the images they filmed so as not to forget the day the former president came to town.
It's too hard. It's too hard. That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I don't even want to remember. It's like 9/11.
Others continue to wonder how such a breach could have happened.
The perimeter wasn't extended out far enough for such an event like this with tens of thousands of people. It should have been much larger secured area. Even though there were not participants in that area, it should have been extended out much larger than it was.
The comprehensive amount of footage will be critical to the investigation. From this sequence, you can see that around 5 minutes into Trump's speech, bystanders noticed a man on a roof close to the venue. He was approximately 120 meters away and they attempted to alert security. As Trump's speech continued, his supporters shouted that the man on the roof was armed. Then 3 shots rang out.
Take a look at what happened.
Before a sniper opened fire, fatally shooting the gunman, who we now know was 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Former classmates recall a boy who was bullied and isolated at school.
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're going to see someone like that, and they're going to target him because they think it's funny or whatever, because it's the best way I can describe it. So it's honestly kind of sad.
So many of those who carry out shootings in this country fit that description, but their bullets are not usually aimed at the last and potentially next President of the United States.
In a nation where politics has become the ultimate dividing line, the shooting became a rare moment of unanimous condemnation. As he recovered from the attack, Mr. Trump himself called for Americans to stand united. And it fell to the current President Joe Biden to urge everyone to help lower the temperature.
Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back. Take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. There's no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized. You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that.
To what extent all sides in America heed that call will potentially define not just the current election campaign, but the US political climate for years to come. Donald Trump said he should be dead now, but instead the show goes on to the Republican convention and beyond. The United States has undoubtedly been shaken by what happened in Pennsylvania. Whether that shock proves to be a unifying or divisive force will be watched as closely as the election itself.